Okay, I woke up way too early this morning, so I figured I would take the opportunity to just go over what my morning routine usually looks like for trading. Um, I keep a spreadsheet of everything I'm going to do from the night before. So I do like all the work I want to do the night before, and then that way the morning of, really all I'm doing is just checking to make sure nothing's exploding or blowing up in the market, and then I just need to pull the trigger. So, I have here for today is November 29th. It's Wednesday, I think. Um, these green ones mean they're close to their buy spot, so they're the most important. And then I just put whether it's I'm updating my stop loss. So I've got three new buys are potentially going to happen today. Everything I automate, so everything is going to be like a limit order of some type. Um, two add-on buys, and then these two are both, I think, these are both pullback buys, so they're like 5+% away, so they're not that big of a deal. But in the morning, since it can get a little hectic right away, I just like to know, and these are in order of how close they are to the buy point, and so I just go down and I do these. These can usually wait because they're just stop loss updates, just to tighten some risk up, and so then I'll just go over to my whoops over here. And so this is currently everything I know. And in the morning, I'll just check to make sure real quick, like what's pre-market look like. This is SharkNinja. I bought more of it yesterday when it broke through this three-touch trend line here. So it's up this morning, nothing wrong. This is one I would like to, this is my average buy cost. This is my current stop loss. If I can get to a point where this is a completely risk-free trade, then I can really put the gas on. But I've made three purchases. So the all-time high, which was on the day it IPO'd or spun off IPO'd, is up here at, what is that, 52.90. So, if it could break through that, that'd be great, but it might end up pulling back. So what I would like to do is get good position, be able to move this stop here to break even. And then if we hit that high, pull back, maybe it breaks through. We'll see. But nothing to worry about there this morning. MongoDB looks like it might break out here. Unfortunately, it's only 6 days away from earnings, so I'm actually moving this stop up even more. I'm going to move it to the low of yesterday because, unfortunately, I'm not going to gamble. I don't have enough um, profit here to kind of play earnings, so I'll kill the trade before earnings come. Fresh, this is a new one I bought yesterday. This one is gapping up. I have no intention um, of buying any more of that today, but all good there, nothing to worry about. Dash, so this is one where I want to see if I can get a pullback to the 21-day here. So again, that's still almost 5% away. I don't really expect that to happen, but I'm going to put the order in just as a buy limit order. Easy enough to do. Lee Auto, I have too many stocks here, to be honest, and this one's just not doing what I want to. Here's my average buy price. Here's my stop. I'm going to kind of see how it plays around with this 21 today. Chances are to probably shake out and rip, but either way, it's just kind of annoying and not doing much, and I have better merchandise in here that I want to focus on. ARM, this one's doing great. I do have this as an add-on buy here if we can break this downtrend line. This thing's acting really well. Great volume on the upside, pull back on lighter volume, kind of went sideways yesterday, building out this flag here. I'd love to get bigger. This one and SharkNinja, because they're such new stocks, I would love to get better position in. But this is right now a risk-free trade. I've got good profit on it. AEM gold, bought this on Monday. This one's done nothing wrong. It pushed strong last 2 days. Nothing to do there. PSN, I'll probably get stopped out of this today. It's a tiny position. And then Palo Alto, which I only bought half a position here on Monday because I think it was Zscaler. Yeah, Zscaler, and then CrowdStrike yesterday had earnings, and they're in the same area, so it was kind of like playing earnings. I just don't want to take too big a risk, but this thing is really pushed out nicely. So then once I look at the stocks I already own, what I need to do there, again, everything looks fine. The only issue, PSN might stop out, which it's a small position, and Lee I'll just have to pay attention to this morning, but nothing, crazy going on. And then my potential ads. So again, I go back to my trade sheet. And I do have a column here hidden that tells like how many shares and exactly what price. So I know exactly how many shares to type into the trading platform when I go to put the limit orders in. But then I see here, okay, so Airbnb, FLR, those are both new buys and TMDX. So Airbnb, this chart's kind of busy. Let me clear this off. But this thing is finally, it seems like a good low risk spot. I'm above the 50, I'm above the 200. It's basically gone sideways here on very below average volume, you can see here. So it's one, I think it's worth the risk. It's a company that, you know, has done not terribly given where it came from back in 2021. It's really just kind of built this kind of big base here, but I think it's a good low risk entry here. So I think it's worth the risk. This is trading down today, so it's probably not going to trigger. And that's again where I'll just put a buy stop order in. So I do buy limits if it's a pullback buy, and it's a buy stop if it's and if it's a very gappy stock, I'll do a buy stop limit to make sure, because if it's just a buy stop order, and let's say, you know, I'm not going to buy it if it were to, this isn't going to happen today, but if it's going to gap up all the way up here, I don't want to buy it. That's like, it's way too out of the price range there. FLR, this is another one. Oh, put my drawings back on so I can see. And this is one where I'll buy, because this is a new all-time high here. And these ones can definitely pull back. What I usually do is I'll buy half on the break. Like let's say it happens at 10 in the morning, I'll buy half on the break. And then, you know, 5-10 minutes before the close at the end of the day, if it's still trading above here, I'll buy more. Again, unless it's, you know, way up. I don't want to overpay for this stock. So I've got that one there. And then TMDX, this is another one. I watched this one for a long time and it did really well. And then they had an issue with, they transport basically live organs, which is a very difficult business. If you need to transport a liver across the country, there's a time window there that it needs to be done by. If someone dies, you get the liver extracted, and you need to transport it from California to New York or something to do a transplant. But here, this bar here signals highest up volume ever. So I think this would be worth taking. I'm going to make it a small position, but if it can pop up over here today, and you can already see it's kind of testing, and it's just kind of been testing. So that's another trade I'll take. And then DraftKings, another pullback buy. This thing's done really well. And this would be, you know, this is still 6%, so it won't trigger today, I'm guessing. But I just like to have it here so I know what I'm doing. So that's basically what I do in the morning. I do all the work to fill out, you know, when the market closes, I go over everything I've done for the day, you know, everything that's happened. I make sure, and I have a bunch of tabs down here. I mean, this is like my ledger where I put every trade in, my trading statistics, what I actively have, how much money, how many shares, at what price, all that stuff is in here. And then I just have my to-do list. So it makes it easy that I just wake up in the morning, I make sure nothing crazy's occurred overnight. You know, back when the Russia-Ukraine war was like on edge, didn't know what was going to happen, there was a lot of gappy days in there, a lot happened. Also, when the Fed really started raising interest rates and raising them so quickly, you know, it was every time there was a PCE report or a CPI report, you know, there was a lot of movement in the markets. Lately, it's been a little calmer because there's not so much macro headwind, but I just make sure that there's no issue there. Markets aren't tanking. This morning, they're gapping a little bit higher. And then I just go through my trade sheet. And again, I have a hidden column here that just has the shares and what price. And I just go to my trading platform, type in the shares, price, limit, stop, whatever it is. Make sure those are all in by, 7:30 my time in Utah, but the 9:30 market open. And then I let it do its thing. And as orders go through, I already have as well, I didn't mention, but like on a new buy, let's see, Airbnb went, you know, I already know my stop price. So it's real easy for me to just say, which is just below the low of this day or yesterday's close, or just below the low of yesterday. So I already know. So if this trade triggers, great. I know it triggered. I go in and I just do a sell all stop loss order, and I just set it to this price and I'm good to go. So it makes it so like I can keep my mind out of a lot of it. It's really just do the work the day before. And a big thing I've learned, and I'll be honest, I've still made this mistake. I made it this summer with SMCI. If it's not on my trade sheet from the night before, I don't trade it. I have never once broken that rule and been successful. And yet that's where the discipline really comes in, is like, the discipline to look at the charts all the time, to understand what companies you want to buy, have them ready to go, um, and just make it very logical and to keep like the mind and the emotion out of it. So you wake up in the morning, you just click buttons and pull the trigger. And the market's going to do what the market's going to do. I just try and look for like higher probability trades. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Current market environment, they're working more than they're not. The only two stops I've had so far is Palantir and SMCI again, about 2 weeks ago. And then it looks like I'm probably going to get stopped out of Lee and maybe PSN. So not everything's a winner. You know, you're just trying to win more than you lose. And when you do win more money than when you lose. So that's all I got. Just thought I'd share that. So hope everyone has a great day.